My name's Thomas Kennedy. I spent 9 years in prison for a crime I didn't commit. I was falsely accused of raping my own daughter. The ex-wife and I split up when my two daughters were young. My two daughters and I would spend time with each other every other weekend. The visits were generally fun. Kids will be kids. We did a lot of traveling when they would come to visit. We'd go camping, just do things. I worked in a scrapyard. Everything was going fine. I was having a good day up until I got that phone call. The officer had said that he wanted to talk to me because I'd been accused of molesting my daughter. My jaw hit the desk. Literally, I was very confused. A daughter accusing a dad. It's horrible. Nobody believed that I did it. Nobody. I didn't run. I didn't hide. I didn't contest the system itself in any way, believing that my innocence would prevail. I guess I watched a lot of Matlock. Because it don't happen like that no more. The trial was horrible. I was scared. I think the worst moment in my life was when I watched my daughter walk across the courtroom and get up in that stand and point at me. I wanted to scream out. I wanted to shout. I wanted to stand up on a table and yell at the jury and say, I did not do this. My mind is just overwhelmed with why? They found me guilty, and that was the only evidence that they really had, was her pointing her finger at me.
So 9 years of this. Did you ever think that your daughter would recant, that she would come forward and tell the truth?
I had prayed for that my entire time that I was in prison, and it did happen. It did happen, and it was a big surprise when it happened, but I'd prayed for it and hoped for it every single day.
Because you were offered a plea bargain, weren't you?
Yes.
For a lesser charge, but you refused to take that.
I refused to take it. I was offered a plea bargain, and when I refused it, the charges were increased to a more severe charge, and that happened twice. And I still refused it. And no one, but at the second time it came around, my lawyer looked at me and he says, "You're going to prison for 15 to 20 years. You might want to take the plea." And I told my lawyer, I says, I'm not going to prison admitting that I did something I didn't do. It's not going to happen. We're going to trial, and prepare yourself because we're going to trial.
How did you feel about her? You must have been so upset and angry.
I was kind of angry at first, and I forgive my daughter. I absolutely forgive her. I was angry at first. I was hurt. Sitting in there knowing that she lied about me.
How did you deal with that?
I felt kind of angry at first. I'm sorry, I'm not.
That's okay.
Not quite as ready to talk about it as I thought I was. And then I felt, man, Thomas, you're drinking, man, you really messed your kids' life up. You should have been a better dad.
So you blamed yourself in a way?
Kinda, yeah.
When she finally did come forward, what did you feel in your heart?
I felt joy. I felt security, knowing that my prayer had finally been answered. And I had hope and faith all along that it would be answered. And it was, finally. It's kind of how I felt.
After being hurt for about a year or so from my dad not being around, it built up as anger and bitterness towards him, and I just wanted him to just leave me alone. I wanted him out of my life. I made up a story, and I told the police that he had raped me when he never did.
I was in awe that Cassandra came forth and told the truth. When I saw Cassandra on the stand testifying the truth, I cried. I was so proud of her for doing the right thing.
Cassandra Kennedy was just 11 years old when she concocted a story about a rape that never occurred. Her lies sent her father, Thomas Kennedy, to prison. He was sentenced to 15 years for 3 counts of child rape. 9 years later, Cassandra came forward to tell the truth and set him free. Cassandra is here with us today. Thank you for being here. I know this is incredibly emotional for you. Tell me just what you're feeling right now.
Just embarrassed. And just regretful.
Looking back on it, Cassandra, why do you think you did this?
I was just angry and upset because I felt like he wasn't around enough, and he, broken promises and stuff like that.
You wanted more of him.
I did. I wanted more of my dad, and I wasn't getting it.